I cannot express to you enough or often enough that it is not the issue that's going on in your life that creates the emotion. Yes, things going on will always impact us, positive, negative, neutral, but that is not what creates an emotion. What creates these difficult emotions, the anger, the anxiety, the depression, and guilt, is what your belief about what the thing that happened means. Your belief about the inference of what you say happened. I'll give you a perfect example of how this regularly works out in my sessions and in people's lives. Let's say that you connect with me and you just lost your job. Nobody likes that. Even if it's a job you didn't like very much, nobody wants to feel that financial crunch. Nobody likes that kind of fear. The problem is not that you lost your job. That absolutely impacts us. There's absolutely some steps we need to take. We need to get some wins in your win column, whether that's applying, getting some other kind of skills so you can find a different kind of job. Yes, we need to get some wins in the win column. Yes, there are some things that we need to do, but action is not enough. All these coaches out there telling you that action is what it takes are only half right, because they're not talking about how you feel at the end of the night when you reach for that bottle, when you reach for those vices, when you go to bed feeling like a piece of trash, when you're depressed or anxious, or you have anxiety or guilt or anger. They're not talking about that part. They're not fixing it. Action is massively important. What you have to change is debating whether your belief about the situation is real. Nobody likes losing their job and feeling financial crunch. This is where we come in. This is where we do things like inference training to find out exactly what's going on. This is where we use things like rational motive behavior therapy and EMDR about your past and the present and your future neurological issues that are going on because of your past, present, or future. You've decided that losing your job means your family might lose their house, means your kids aren't provided for, means your wife isn't feeling protected, you're not taking care of your duties. And what you've decided about that, those difficult things that impact us, is that you are a piece of shit. That causes your emotion, folks. Yes, you will have feelings about the things that are going wrong. The loss of your job, the concern about finances, the worry you could lose your house, the worry that your kids will be impacted, the worry that your wife will be impacted, the worry that you will be impacted financially, and things may be stressful for a while. What you've decided that means, you decided what that means is that you're a terrible husband, a terrible father, and you're a human piece of garbage, whether you're male or female. Over and over again, I see this. And over, I watch the men and women in my office or online. When we get to that part where they admit that the problem is they think that they're a piece of crap, drop their head and say, yep, that's what has me reaching for the bottle. That's what has me reaching for the vices. That's what's killing me. That's what makes me feel depressed. Okay, I can prove that you lost your job. I can prove you might be financially affected. I can prove that it might be difficult for your kids and your wife and your life. We might even prove that you could be in such financial trouble you may lose your house. You know what you can't prove? You can't prove that you're a human piece of shit. You can't. You can prove that you've made some mistakes. You can prove that you've done some shitty things. And we're not trying to pat ourselves on the back to say it'll all be okay, it'll all be fine, just be strong, you're a good person. Maybe you are. Maybe you're not. I don't know. Maybe you're neutral. Maybe you're a person that has good and bad things like the rest of us. Lack of good people and bad people. We'll save that for another lecture, but prove people are good. Prove people are all bad. You've proven that you're all bad. You're a human piece of garbage, because being a piece of shit does not mean right now. It means always have been, are now, always will be. Does that not sound like depression to you? Does that not sound like the awfulizing that it takes? That everything is awful and is the worst thing you could possibly happen to you, and that you can't possibly handle this? What are you talking about? You've handled it so far, but action's not enough. Your determination of what this means, I lost my job, means I'm a human piece of garbage. There's your depression. There's your anxiety. None of this is going to let your action happen. We can make a list of things to coach you, to help you find the job, fix your finances, treat your family better, communicate better. It doesn't matter if your emotion is in the way. It doesn't matter if your depression and your anger and your anxiety and your guilt are in the way. And we're not trying to get from those things to happy about you losing your job. This sucks. Any of the other listed things that we could prove could happen are bad. But you've taken that extra step. Whether it's because of your childhood, whether it's because of your past, whether you've just never felt good enough or used to feel good enough and now it feels like things are falling apart. You've taken the irrational extra step to defend the fact that this makes you a piece of crap. Piece of crap, depressed, on the wrong path, nervous, frustrated, upset. One of those will help you get out of bed. Not the first one. Not the depressed. Yes, get some wins in the win column. Let's get some discipline. Let's start moving forward. Quit looking for the motivation. Prove to me this means that you're a piece of trash. You can't. Go ahead. I'm well versed in this therapy. Go ahead. You won't prove that you're a piece of trash. You would not let your kids say that they're a piece of trash because they messed up once or 50 times. But you've determined that you must be perfect or you're a piece of trash. Can't prove it. You can't prove it. I don't care how down you are. You can't prove it. And this is the path to moving forward. I lost my job. I might be in financial constraint. This might hurt my kids. This might hurt my relationship. Okay. Go be nervous. Go be upset. Go be frustrated. Now get your actions in. You know why you can? Because you're not depressed and anxious and guilty or angry, which will always take over.